Hi, friends. Long time no chat. I'm coming at you from Bali today. I wish I had like a super aesthetic villa that I could show you, but I don't. And that's the realistic truth of my life. I'm still very grateful. I have a roof over my head. I have this beautiful painting by Ichiro-san behind me. My voice is a little raspy, but I hope that you find it sexy. I asked you guys on my Instagram a couple days ago for questions that you'd like answered. And heaps of you guys asked questions in regards to self improvement. Heaps of you guys asked about relationships and dance. Because if you didn't know, I was a dancer before I was social media icon. Not to, toot my own horn or anything, but so I will be answering those three topics, but in three different episodes. So this episode will be about self-improvement, the next one will be about relationships, and the third will be about dance. Period. I had heaps of people ask, how do I stay confident? And I think that's a popular question because so many self-improvement creators are always saying like, oh, stay confident, be confident, love who you are, love your body, love your face, whatever. But like nobody actually explains how to stay confident or how to be confident in the first place. For me, for a very significant part of my life, I hated everything about myself. And I know that that sounds real dramatic, but I hated my body. I hated how I looked. I hated how I responded to people. I just hated everything about myself. And I think that reflected a lot in my, interpersonal relationships that I had at that time. And that compared to now where I adore myself and I love everything about myself. I have my days, of course, but in general, I think I'm like the sexiest person ever. I think I'm funny. I think I'm all this and that. And I think the key difference is that I'm making conscious choices to make myself feel this way now. But earlier, when I was, not slaying, I would consciously I wasn't aware at the time, but I would consciously make choices that would be self-sabotaging to reassure the fact that my self-perception of myself of being, not great was being validated through these actions. So I also had, trigger warning, but I had an eating disorder at the time. So that in combination with the self-talk, that in combination with these relationships and the things that I were doing and depriving myself of, all of these were actions that were self-sabotaging myself in a way that would validate my feelings towards myself. So the feeling that I had towards myself was, I'm not worthy, I'm not good. And when I did these actions, they were validating it. So instead of going the opposite way of trying to do things that would make me feel better about myself, I would do the opposite because it made me feel good, because my thoughts were being validated. But now, in contrast to, now, I'm actively doing things every day that assures me of my self-perception, of I am loving, I am kind, I am beautiful, I am rich, not like rich, but like that too, tea. Like I have a routine now that, yes, takes work, like effort, but it makes me feel good about myself. And when I do those things, it reassures my self value, my self perception, my self worth. And that's the T with confidence. It's not something you have. It's not like a personality trait. It's not like a physical trait. It's a state of self perception that you need to upkeep with conscious actions. Whoa, that was a bar. Someone write that down. Confidence is not something you have. It's not an objective thing. It is a state of a feeling, and you need to be taking conscious actions every day or whenever you can to reestablish and reassure that feeling in yourself. And the more you do it, the more like normal these actions become, and just becomes a part of your routine. So then you don't really have to like consciously do these things. When I was first coming out of it took me 6 years to get to where I am now. 6 years ago, I lost my period for a year because I was so underweight and so unhealthy that my body said, nope, let's focus on surviving your body today instead of making a baby. So that was the state that I was 6 years ago. And this is me now. It took me 6 years of growth and self-reflection and conscious effort to get to where I am now. So if you are feeling, if you are feeling like I did 6 years ago, please let me reassure you that it takes time, but you will get there. You have unlimited amount of time. No matter what age you are, you have more than enough time to achieve anything that you want, to get to any mindset that you want. And I'm here to assure you that as long as you're making little efforts, as long as you're taking actions every single day, you will get to that destination. As long as you're, working towards that same direction, you will get to that destination. It's inevitable. It's not even up to you anymore. My love, if you are struggling with confidence, all you have to do is break it down to little steps. Make sure that you are doing these little actions that make you feel good about yourself, that validates your positive opinions that you have about yourself, and you will notice that you feel good, you feel confident. But when I say confident, to be honest, it's not really like you step into a room and you're like, yeah, I'm that bitch. I think that is a part of it, but I think confidence is just seeing yourself truly for who you are instead of putting yourself down or bringing yourself too high up, because then that would be like egotistical. Like seeing yourself fully for who you are, fully for your beauty. I genuinely think everybody is beautiful. I think there's something beautiful about everybody in this world, and when you like, to me, confidence is seeing that beauty in yourself, seeing how you treat other people, seeing how you treat yourself, seeing the words that are coming out of your mouth, the stories that you are telling, these actions that you are doing for yourself and others, seeing the good that you are doing and the good that you have in your heart is what confidence is. I wouldn't say it's like, yeah, I'm that bitch, I'm beautiful, I'm confident, I'm sexy. That's cool. I think that's more affirmations rather than, or just like describing yourself. But I think confidence is just being able to truly see yourself for who you are, because everybody is beautiful, and not putting yourself down or bringing yourself unrealistically, whatever. So that's confidence to me. Just seeing yourself fully for what you stand for, what you represent, who you are as a person, as if you're looking at yourself from a third person perspective. T. Wow, I loved that conversation. I love talking to y'all. I love all these questions that you ask, because I feel like we're, similar, because we've probably gone through the similar things if you resonate with what I'm saying. Whatever. Okay, next question. How to have a positive mindset in this chaotic world? Fabulous question, but I think it's kind of the same answer. You have to consciously make actions and choices to feel this way, because it's true. If you choose to see the ugly in this world, you will only see the ugly. If you choose to see the beauty in this world, you will only see beauty. But the realistic thing is that there's a balance of both. The world outside, you cannot control. So I wouldn't even try to just see the positive or just see the negative, because it's unrealistic. If you're just living in La La Land and you're like, oh no, everything is beautiful and everything. No, there's people struggling in this world. There's people who are struggling to make it every single day. And is that beautiful? Not at all. But is there beauty in this world? Yes. So don't even try to categorize the whatever is happening in the rest of the world. Like, try to make sense of it, because nothing makes sense in this world. The only world that you can make sense of or have control over is the world within you, and that I can give you tips for. If you surround yourself with good people that make you feel good about yourself, that are doing actions that you align with, have morals and values that you align with, you are eating good food, you're taking care of your body, you are fostering your mind, you are having hobbies, you're being creative, you're doing whatever you can to make your life beautiful and full of joy and happiness, your world will be beautiful. You will have fruitful thoughts and all that. But unfortunately, that's the only world that you have control over. So why not make it beautiful, This also goes into like the confidence thing that we just talked about. But outside world, you cannot control. You can, however, control your reactions and your thoughts about the things that are happening in this world. And those things stem from your mindset and your mental state. How do you take care of that? By taking care of your body, by taking care of your thoughts. And yeah. So, my love, I'm so sorry. I cannot tell you how you can control the chaos in the world. But, however, I can tell you and advise you that the world that you can take care of is completely up to you and your choices. And as long as you're making conscious choices to take care of that world within you, everything becomes a little more manageable, in my opinion. I think this is a good time to mention that I do not have any qualifications. I just have life experience, and I've gone through shit. No, not more shit than the next person, but so take everything I say with a grain of salt. But if you resonate with it, amazing. If I'm able to help you in any way, amazing. Let's continue. Next question. How do I get over the fear of commitment? I have an avoidant attachment. Same. I wish I could give you advice on it, but that's also something I'm consciously working on. I've had beautiful experiences in relationships. I've also had a not very beautiful experiences in relationships. And it's been a while since my last relationship, and I've just become super independent and self sufficient. And there's no need for a man or a woman in my life at the moment. So just that lack of need has, I think, harbored like a avoidant attachment style in me as well, because my life is so beautiful right now with my friends and my family and myself. This life that I've created for myself is so beautiful and so fragile and delicate that I am very avoidant and hesitant to let anyone into this world. And I think from that, I've pushed away a lot of, potential relationships. But do I feel like I'm missing out? Not at all. I feel fulfilled in the love that I have surrounding me. So I don't feel like there's a scarcity at all. I also have a tough relationship with this thought because I feel like, I'm young. It's a part of life to experience different types of relationships, even if it doesn't end in marriage. Like, you're going to learn so much from each relationship. And when I am avoidant, I feel like I'm stripping myself of that experience, but at the same time, I'm learning so much from being on my own. So that's kind of the seesaw crisis that I have in the back of my mind at all times. So I wish I could give you advice on this, but it's also something I'm struggling on my own. So let me know if you got advice on overcoming an avoidant attachment style. Is it even avoidant if like you have no desire? Like, the supply and demand, right? There's no demand, so why would there be a supply? Oh my god, okay, I'm spiraling. Next question. How to stop caring about others' opinions. This is something I'm very passionate about because my father, my dearest father, he cares so much about what other people think. And he tells me this all the time. He says, "Oh, I wish I could get a haircut, but then what would people think of me?" And all this and all that. Since we've started spending a lot of time together last year, we've had many conversations about this topic. And I am to him the person that cares least about what other people thinks about me. I thought I was just like a normal amount of I don't care what people think about me, but apparently not. For him, he values other people's opinions so much that it restricts him from freely expressing himself, from freely doing things that he wants to in his life. And he has expressed to me that he feels like he's being robbed, despite the robbing being from himself and his value that he placed on what other people think of him. Whenever he tells me that, I would say, like, when has anyone ever told you that looks bad? And when has that ever affected the rest of your life? Because realistically, whatever you do, whatever funky outfit, whatever funky thing that you do in public, everyone's gonna look at you. Yeah, they might think about, oh, they look funky for a second or two, and then they're gonna move on about their life. How often and how long are you thinking about other people in your day to day? Like, how many funky people have you seen in your life? Probably many. How many do you think of on a daily basis? Probably none. And if you do think of it, it's probably gonna be a few seconds at most. So when you think about it in that perspective, of that third person perspective, nothing matters, You could go out to Times Square, New York City in a neon pink outfit with neon pink hair, with face full of paint. Yeah, everyone's gonna look at you, but then what? Is that gonna affect your life in the long term? No. Are you gonna have happiness from... Excuse me. Are you gonna have a lot of happiness from expressing yourself freely? Yes. And which one are you going to value most? The 2 seconds of what people think about you or your happiness? Correct answer is your happiness. And I think that's just the general theme of, not caring what other people think about you, because the realistic thing is everybody cares about what everybody thinks about you. I do too. But the difference is I place higher value in my self-expression and in my self-happiness over other people's opinions, because other people's opinions are not going to pay my bills, and other people's opinions are not going to make me any happier than I am when I'm expressing myself freely. I'm going to put myself first. And that is why I will wear whatever the fuck I want. I will dye my hair whatever the color I want. I will do whatever I want to my nails, because that is my mindset. That is what I value. Me, bitch. I hope that helped. Next question. How do I get out of a rut? Wonderful question. As a chronic overworker, I have gotten myself into many a ruts. And what has gotten me out of these ruts is fully committing to the rut. And I know this might not be something you want to hear, or it might sound real contradictory, but for me, I'm like an all or nothing kind of person. I can't do something half-assed. So whenever, even if it comes to a rut, if I'm kind of working, but kind of in a rut, that's what's going to continue because I'm still working. So I don't really have that guilt of not working, but I'm still rutting. So, I'm comfortable, but am I being productive? No, because I'm still half-assing this shit. And that's not going to get me anywhere. So whenever I feel unmotivated and I don't want to do anything, I commit to it because I've noticed that the rut is much, much, much shorter when I do. And I have this luxury. I can work from home. All of my work and what I get paid for, I can do at home with my own deadline. So this is a luxury that I recognize and I know that not a lot of people have. In whatever capacity that you can, if you can commit to the rut, I can almost promise you that you will get out of it much quicker because you will get sick of the version that you are of yourself when you're in a rut. If you are like me, I have a specific vision of myself, a specific image and expectation for myself for my daily basis. And when I'm not reaching that, that's when I'm in a rut. I don't get out of bed. I don't do anything. I eat shit food. I don't take care of my body, all that. And as comfortable and nice and new that it feels on day 1, day 2, when it gets to like day 4, day 5, I get sick of the version that I am. And the only thing I can set my mind to is getting out of that rut because I hate the version that I've become. And like at the root, I value the person I am when I'm, productive rather than this. So I just hate the version I am. So I can't help but to change the life, I can't help but change my habits. And that's just because of who I am. And if you're listening to this podcast, you might feel, similarly. So the best advice I can give to you is just commit to it because at the end of the day, you will come out of it. If you can't, then that might just be something you need help from an external person, like a therapist or a trusted adult to talk about it because it might not be a rut. It might be, anxiety or depression. When I say rut, I just think it's a time when you're uninspired and unmotivated. If it's beyond that, I can't give you advice on that. I'm not a licensed professional, so please reach out to a professional. But if you are in a rut, my advice is to commit to it because you will get out of it. Because, it's not a nice feeling to be unmotivated and, just shitty. And you're just going to feel shitty and you're going to want to stop feeling shitty. Next question. I hope you can't hear, like, the motorcycles outside. Because I'm right next to a window because this is fabulous lighting. Hello. Look at me. Beautiful. Ooh, and this top that I'm wearing, before y'all ask, because I know you will, this is a top from Miek, one of the most beautiful brands in Bali, owned by the most beautiful people. I'm not even wearing a bra. You can't see the biddies, right? You can just tell that it is made with love. And if you want to check it out, not sponsored, by the way. I'm just showcasing this because I love this brand so much. It's called Miek. Before y'all ask, because I know you will, this is from Miek Asia. I also have another top and I will be getting more. Available on Tokopedia, Shopee, and GoSend, apparently, and about to be available internationally. Period! Moving on. How do I get over them? I've actually made an entire episode about this. So I'll, just summarize the advice that I have because a lot of you ask how to get over them, how to get over him, how to get over her. My solution, my method, roots from reminding yourself that you have control over your mind. You are more in control of your mind than you think you are, babe. Every action that you are doing, consciously or unconsciously, is what is triggering the thoughts in your mind. Stay with me now. So if you're trying to get over someone, but you're still checking their Instagram, you're still looking at photos, you're still thinking of them, you're, imagining these scenarios with them. These are choices that you're making, whether you realize it or not. And the gag is, you can stop. You can stop yourself from looking at their Instagram. You can stop yourself from texting. Whenever you have a thought, you can go, okay, no, different thought. This is all choices. These are all things that you can do. And when you keep doing these things, the thought of them, it's slowly going to go to the back of your mind, and it's inevitable because you're not triggering that part of your brain anymore. You're not triggering this dopamine release, and you're not feeding this addiction of, every time you look at their Instagram, it's going to give you a dopamine hit because, it's reminded of what you could be, how beautiful they were, how loving they were, whatever. But then you get a crash because they're not yours anymore. And this up and down is an addiction. And nobody wants to talk about this, but if you can't get over a breakup, it's because you have an addiction to them. So you basically have to get sober from the thought of them and them. And how do you do that? You have to detox. I am a big fan of the block button. Block them. And it's not personal. It's for your well-being. so that you're not looking at their Instagram. So it's not showing up on your Instagram. Block their number so that you cannot see your conversations. If you might think, oh, but that's so mean. Like, what if I want to keep the memories? How your well-being and your recovery and your healing is what matters. Okay, don't even like worry about, oh, but it's so mean to block them. Who cares? Be mean. This is about your healing and your happiness. Who cares if it's mean to block somebody if it means that you'll be happier? They're not even yours anymore. It doesn't matter what they think. I mean, it didn't matter in the first place, to be honest, but if you've broken up with someone and you can't get over them and you're saying, oh, I can't get over them, and you're complaining that you can't get over them, but you're still catching their Instagram, this is self-inflicted. Stop it, and I can promise you that you will start to get over them and you will start to forget them. And this is the foolproof method. Like, it's science. I'll do one more question before this video gets too long. How to deal with loneliness. I don't know if I'm the most qualified person to talk about this because I don't feel like I've ever felt lonely in my life. I've always really enjoyed my company, and I'm also an introvert. So I'm not in a dire need to be around people all the time. And I think being alone versus being lonely are two different things, because you can be in a room full of people and still be lonely. You can still feel lonely. Whereas I'm, 90% by myself and I don't feel lonely. And I think, I don't know, maybe the difference is, this might sound a little psychotic to some of you and might land me in a hospital. Hope not. But I almost see myself as another person, especially when I'm talking like this. Because it's one thing to, exist within you and exist with the thoughts that you have and do all these things from your perspective. But once you start talking to yourself, or once you start reflecting and writing things down, it's almost like you're getting to know this conscious version of you. Because I'm constantly surprised with the words that are coming out of my mouth, because I'm not, I don't plan the words that are coming out of my mouth. And when they do come out, I'm hearing them and I'm going, oh, wow, okay, she ate. Or, oh, that was kind of mean. It's like I'm getting to know another person, because this conscious version of myself and this unconscious version of myself are two different versions of me. And so whenever I spend time alone, I'm constantly self-reflecting. I'm constantly writing in my journal. I'm constantly talking to myself. And I think the job that I have now kind of forces me to. And that's, a blessing and a curse. But for me, I think that's the reason why I don't really feel lonely, even if I've spent so much time alone, because I think I'm so interesting and I genuinely enjoy getting to know myself. I know this might sound narcissistic to some people maybe, but truly, truly, the only permanent person in your life is yourself, and the only person you're obligated to like is yourself. So I think there's so much value in getting to know yourself and spending time to understanding who you are, both from your perspective, looking out into the world, and how other people perceive you. Because nobody can, see your thoughts. Nobody can see the thoughts that are happening inside you. All they can see and experience are the words coming out of your mouth and the actions that you are doing. And the beautiful thing is that you can hear your words. And so whenever I am by myself, I can feel by myself when I'm, just in my thoughts. But when I'm talking to myself, I feel like I'm with another person and I'm getting to know this other person. Does that make any sense? I feel like we're just spiraling now. And even now, as I'm telling you this, I haven't thought about this question before. And I'm answering this to you in real time. And so, yes, I'm answering this question, but also at the back of my mind, I'm thinking, wow, okay, you kind of ate with that, because it's so true. And I feel like I'm unpacking a part of my brain that I've never unpacked before. And it's just so interesting that that's how I thought, and that's the thought that I was able to develop in my brain in this short amount of time, because that's probably what I already believed it before. And this is just an opportunity for me to express it and for me to vocalize it. And when I'm vocalizing, I'm hearing it instead of just a little brain cell thing that I had in the back of my mind that was never touched. Do you understand what I'm trying to say? Wow. What a lovely, lovely podcast episode. This is so interesting. I cannot wait to edit it, and I cannot wait to listen to myself. Wow, does that sound super narcissistic? Yes, but do I care? No. I love you guys. I hope this was helpful to some degree. I'm always open to questions, so feel free to DM me. I see every DM. I cannot respond to every single DM, but I see every single DM. I've seen an influx of people sending me the sweetest messages, and I just cannot thank you guys enough. You guys are the reason why I'm doing this, and If there weren't any of you watching, I wouldn't be doing this. So I just want to say thank you. Thank you for giving me my dream career, as I always say. Comment a pineapple emoji if you made it this far, so then I know that you were the realist and I can reply to your comment. I love you so much. Make sure you watch the other 2 episodes if you have asked questions, and my socials will be linked below. You know, all the things, all the social media things. I love you so much, and I'll see you all soon next Tuesday or Thursday. Bye!